Now, I don't believe, frankly, that South Africa ever thought it was going to be successful on the merits of this case. And of course, we are still a long way from the court considering the merits of the allegation that South Africa has brought. All the court has done so far is issue provisional measures, which are not done on the basis of an assessment of the merits. And all of what you have heard about Israel being plausibly guilty of genocide, or that there is a plausible case of genocide, is entirely false. All the court has heard or decided thus far in issuing these provisional measures is that South Africa has claimed plausible rights on behalf of the Palestinians. And all that means is that they have considered that the case that South Africa has brought plausibly falls under the Genocide Convention. It is a case to be tried, essentially, that the claim falls under the Genocide Convention. That is as far as it has gone. But of course, the fact that these findings of the court, these provisional measures orders, have been so resolutely misrepresented in the international media, in international diplomatic discourse, is part and parcel of what was South Africa's aim here, which is shifting the parameters of the debate and creating, frankly, a media circus. You will have seen the way that the hearings at the ICJ have been covered in the international press. You will have seen the grandstanding and the manner in which submissions have been delivered to the court. And this is very, very important, and I'm glad that we come onto it early in our discussion, because it is a serious concern of mine that international legal tribunals, like the ICC, like the ICJ, are being weaponised for political purposes to target the state of Israel. I do not believe it will end with the targeting of Israel. I believe that this politicisation of international law threatens all countries that care about rule of law, and I know South Africa does because I visited there and I visited the Supreme Court while I was there, that care about liberal democratic values, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and frankly, the way of life that is under threat by the despots and the dictatorships of this world. So I think it's extremely important that, frankly, you've all joined, and I'm extremely grateful for that. But whatever South Africa's monetary incentive might have been, I think it's important to recognise that this is clearly a result of a process of misinformation, of disinformation, which has become deeply culturally and politically embedded in South Africa. And it's not alone in that. I think we're seeing those processes, that dissemination of frankly, Soviet-era propaganda against Jews and the Jewish state. We're seeing that emanating across many other states. And I'm sure, frankly, that we're seeing only the start of these sorts of processes of lawfare against Israel. And I'm not going to be surprised if South Africa's approach is in fact picked up by other states. Ireland has already intervened in seeking to change the definition of genocide. I think it's important just to recognise that even the false factual allegations that have been put forward, even those Ireland at least recognises, do not sufficiently fall within the definition of the existing definition of genocide in Article 2 of the Convention for the Prevention and Punishment of Genocide. So much so that Ireland is now seeking to amend that definition and to make it fit the alleged factual circumstances that are being put forward by South Africa.